Ever seen a moment so magnetic that it feels like time itself slows down? Because honestly, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't just the fans. It wasn't just the cameras. For a few unforgettable seconds, it genuinely felt like everyone in that stadium was drawn toward the exact same person. And the most surprising part? Even the backup dancers seemed completely captivated by Jimin. You guys, can we talk about that moment? The lights inside the stadium in Germany were already breathtaking. Thousands of army bombs painted the night in waves of purple, and the sound of fans singing along echoed through every corner of the venue. The energy was electric long before BTS even stepped onto the stage. Everyone was waiting. Everyone was ready. Then the music began. One by one, the members appeared, and the crowd exploded into cheers that seemed powerful enough to shake the entire stadium. It was loud. Emotional. Beautiful. But somewhere in the middle of all that excitement, something incredibly subtle happened. Something that many people didn't notice at first. Jimin stepped into the spotlight with that signature grace that somehow looks effortless every single time. There wasn't a dramatic entrance. There wasn't an oversized gesture demanding attention. He simply walked. And somehow, that was enough. How does he even do that? It's almost impossible to explain unless you've watched him perform. There's this calm confidence about him, like every movement has a purpose. Even when he's standing completely still, it feels like the stage is moving around him instead of the other way around. As the choreography continued, the dancers around him remained perfectly synchronized, every formation unfolding exactly as rehearsed. Yet from certain fan-recorded angles, many viewers felt as if a few backup dancers briefly glanced in Jimin's direction during transitions between moves. Whether they were checking timing or simply reacting naturally in the middle of a live performance, those tiny moments immediately caught fans' attention online. And honestly, that's what made everything feel so human. Because live performances aren't frozen photographs. People blink. People breathe. People react. Sometimes, in the middle of thousands of moving pieces, someone naturally notices another performer for just a split second. Those tiny moments become unforgettable. The cameras kept moving, following the choreography from one angle to another. Every spotlight seemed to find Jimin at exactly the perfect moment. The soft golden lighting reflected across his blonde hair, giving him an almost unreal glow. Then the music shifted. Everything became quieter. Not literally, but emotionally. The powerful beat faded into something smoother, more delicate, allowing every movement to breathe. That's when Jimin truly became impossible to ignore. His expressions weren't exaggerated. They were restrained. Gentle. Almost fragile. Then, without warning, everything changed. One sharp turn. One precise step. One look toward the audience. And the stadium erupted. Did you feel that too? Because it wasn't just choreography anymore. It wasn't just dancing. It was storytelling. Every gesture carried emotion. Every pause seemed intentional. Every breath between movements somehow became part of the performance itself. This is why so many people describe watching Jimin as an experience rather than simply watching someone dance. He doesn't rush. He doesn't force attention. Attention naturally follows him. And just when you think that was already the most unforgettable part, something else happened. The formation tightened. The dancers moved closer together as the choreography became increasingly detailed. Everyone remained incredibly professional, matching every beat with remarkable precision. Yet fans watching close-up clips later couldn't stop talking about those brief interactions happening within the formation itself. Tiny smiles. Quick glances. Natural synchronization. Nothing felt scripted beyond the choreography itself. Instead, everything reflected the kind of awareness that comes from artists sharing the same stage during a demanding live performance. Honestly, that's beautiful. Because people sometimes forget how much trust exists between performers on stage. Every dancer contributes to creating the atmosphere. Every performer helps tell the same story. Watching those moments unfold reminded everyone that incredible performances are built together. Still, Jimin somehow continued shining in a way that felt uniquely his own. Maybe it was his posture. Maybe it was his timing. Maybe it was the way he seemed completely immersed in the music. Whatever it was, the audience noticed. The cameras noticed. Fans online noticed. And social media quickly filled with comments about his stage presence. People weren't just talking about his visuals. They weren't only talking about the choreography. They kept coming back to the same feeling. His aura. That invisible quality that's almost impossible to define. Can we talk about how rare that actually is? There are performers who execute choreography perfectly. There are performers with incredible vocals. There are performers with amazing visuals. Then there are artists who somehow combine everything into one seamless performance where nothing feels forced. That's what so many fans admire about Jimin. You never feel like he's trying to impress you. He's simply expressing the music. And somehow, that's even more captivating. The song continued building toward another explosive chorus. The bass grew louder. The lights flashed faster. Purple beams swept across the stadium while thousands of voices screamed his name at nearly the same moment. You could almost feel the vibration through the screen. Even if you weren't physically there. Even if you were watching from another country. That emotion somehow traveled. How is that possible? Maybe because genuine passion always reaches people. You don't need perfect camera angles. You don't need expensive production. Sometimes all it takes is one sincere performance. One authentic smile. One heartfelt expression. One unforgettable artist. Then came another tiny moment. So small that it lasted less than a second. Jimin finished a movement before transitioning into the next sequence, and his expression softened almost instantly. The powerful intensity disappeared, replaced by the warmest smile toward the audience. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't planned to become viral. It simply happened. And honestly, those are usually the moments fans remember forever. Not because they're perfect. Because they're real. The crowd answered immediately with even louder cheers. The connection between performer and audience became almost tangible. You could sense the mutual appreciation flowing back and forth. Jimin wasn't simply dancing for the audience. He was dancing with them. Every cheer encouraged another smile. Every smile inspired another wave of excitement. It became this beautiful cycle of energy that kept growing with every passing second. And somehow, even surrounded by stunning visuals, incredible choreography, spectacular lighting, and one of the biggest concert productions imaginable, your eyes kept returning to him. Again. And again. And again. Not because anyone told you to look. But because something about his presence naturally invited your attention. Maybe that's the real magic everyone keeps talking about. Not perfection. Presence. The ability to make thousands of people feel personally connected at exactly the same moment. As the music carried the performance forward, the atmosphere inside the stadium felt almost dreamlike. Every beat, every movement, every expression blended into something larger than a concert. It became one shared memory between BTS and ARMY, a moment that fans would replay countless times, pausing on tiny details, noticing new expressions, discovering little interactions they had missed before. And somehow, just when it feels like you've already seen everything that made this performance unforgettable, another small moment quietly appears, making you want to watch the entire stage all over again.